Hello students, myself Anna Sahib Gurwarani from RBNB College Srirampur. In last 2-3 lectures we have studied chapter dual nature of radiation and matter. We know photoelectric effect and we know experiment of photoelectric effect. We have also studied some characteristics of photoelectric effect. Now today we see the explanation of observations of photoelectric experiment, that is observations from this experiment using Einstein's postulates of quantization of energy. We see these observations one by one. Now according to Einstein, when photon of ultraviolet light, UV light means this light having high frequency. This frequency is we consider it as greater than the threshold frequency for which photoelectrons are emitted. When photon of ultraviolet radiation of high frequency arrives at the metal surface and this photon collides with the electron. When photon having energy h nu of ultraviolet light having high frequency, it collides with the electrons, it gives all energy of the photon, that is h nu, to the electron, and photon no longer exists. Once photon gives the energy to the electron, it's all energy, photon no longer exists and it gives all energy to the electron. If this energy of the photon is greater than or equal to phi 0, this phi 0 we know it is a work function, or we call it as a photoelectric work function. That is the minimum amount of energy required to release the electrons from the metal surface. We call it as a photoelectric work function. If this energy of photon is greater than or equal to phi 0, suppose this is our equation 1, greater than the work function, the electrons are emitted because energy of the photon is greater than this. This is the minimum energy for which the photoelectrons are emitted. But this phi 0 is h nu 0. H is the Planck's constant and nu 0 is the threshold frequency. If energy of photon is greater than or equal to phi 0, photoelectrons are emitted. But this photoelectric work function is h into nu 0, where h is a Planck's constant and nu 0 is the threshold frequency. That is the minimum frequency of incident radiation for which photoelectrons are emitted, and this is phi 0. Hence, in this equation we write it as h nu is greater than equal to phi 0 is h nu 0. H's get cancelled. It means if this incident frequency is greater than threshold frequency, photoelectrons are emitted. This is the observation and this is the explanation from the Einstein's quantization of energy postulates. If incident frequency is greater than the threshold frequency, photoelectrons are emitted, and if incident frequency is less than the threshold frequency, less than threshold frequency, photons have no enough energy to emit the electrons, and as it have no enough energy to emit the electrons, even if intensity is high, hence photoelectric emission takes place only when frequency of incident radiation is greater than the threshold frequency. So this is the explanation of that first observation. Incident frequency must be greater than the threshold frequency so that a photoelectric emission takes place. Then the second observation is energy is given by the photon to electron as soon as radiation is incident on the surface. When radiation is incident on the surface, at the same time the energy is given by the photon to the electron. Exchange of energy between photon and electron is instantaneous. It means there is no time lag between incidence of radiation and emission of photoelectrons, as well as soon as radiation is stopped, no photons transfer energy to electron. Photoelectron emission instantaneously stops. It means the photoelectric effect is an instantaneous process. There is no time lag between the incidence of radiation and emission of photoelectrons. So this is the explanation of that second characteristics or second observation. Now third observation is, according to Einstein, if intensity of light is increased, more number of photons are there. More number of photons for given wavelength is fixed for given lambda. For the particular lambda or for the particular intensity wavelength of the light, if intensity of light is increased, increase in number of photons, and as number of photons are more, number of photons incident on unit area in unit time is more. Energy of each photon, we know it is h nu. Nu is the frequency, or it is h c upon lambda. More intensity, more the photons. More photons, more collision between photons and electrons. More photoelectrons are emitted and more current flows. If low intensity, it contains a less number of photons, less collision between photons and electrons, less current flows through the circuit. It means photoelectric current depends on the intensity. More intensity, more photons, more collisions, more electrons are emitted, photoelectric current is more. Less intensity, less photons, less collisions, less number of electrons are emitted, photoelectric current is less. So increase in intensity increases the photoelectric current. This is the simple explanation. Then we see a next important explanation by using the Einstein's postulates of quantization of energy. Once the electron is emitted from the surface, and if collector is high potential than the emitter, the electric field accelerates the electrons towards the collector. Once the electrons are emitted, electrons are emitted by the emitter, collector has high positive potential, we call it as an accelerating potential. It is accelerating potential. Once the electrons are emitted from the surface, and if collector is at higher potential than the emitter, electric field accelerates the electrons towards the collector. Higher accelerating potential, more electrons reaches the collector, and electric current increases with increase in potential. Electric current increases with increase in accelerating potential. This is initially happens. Electric current increases with increase in accelerating potential. But for given intensity of radiation is fixed. Increasing potential increases the current only till all emitted electrons are collected by the collector. Intensity of light is fixed. The collector attracts the electrons, the electric current increases, but this electric current increases only till all emitted electrons are reached the collector, and no increase beyond saturation current. Current does not increases beyond the maximum value. Does not increases beyond I0, and we call it as saturation current, because that current increases still. All the electrons emitted by the emitter are collected by the collector, and then that current remains at a constant value. We call it as a saturation current. Increase in intensity, the next explanation is, increase in intensity increases the number of incident photons. Increase in intensity increases the number of incident photons, hence more number of electrons are emitted, saturation current increases. Increase in intensity increases the photons. Increase in intensity, photons increases. As photons increases, more electrons are emitted, and as more electrons are emitted, the saturation current also increases. Hence we say that saturation current increases with increase in intensity of the incident radiation. Saturation current increases with increase in the intensity of incident radiation. The next explanation is, according to Einstein, the energy of the photon is h nu, and this energy is used, we know it is used in two ways. Some part is used to emit the electrons from the metal surface, and that part we call it as a work function. And if there is no loss of energy, the electron moves with the maximum kinetic energy, and remaining part appears as kinetic energy of the electrons. Hence, this h nu is equal to phi 0 plus Ke max, kinetic energy maximum. And hence, this Ke max is equal to h nu minus phi 0. We know this is the Einstein's photoelectric equation. This Ke max, as h is a constant, depends on this frequency, and it depends on work function. We know work function. Ke max depends on work function, and as this work function is different for the different material, we say that kinetic energy or maximum kinetic energy depends on the material, because work function is different for the different material of the emitter, and it varies or it changes linearly with the frequency. Kinetic energy directly proportional to frequency. If frequency is increased, kinetic energy also increases. But from this equation it is clear that this kinetic energy does not depend on intensity of incident radiation. It does not depend on the intensity of incident radiation. It depends on the work function, or it depends on the material, and it also depends on the frequency. It is linearly varies with the frequency, and it is independent on the intensity. The next explanation, this explanation is also very important. Next explanation, electrons emitted with the different kinetic energy. Some electrons are on the surface, their kinetic energy may be more. Some electrons are at the depth, they may be emitted with the less kinetic energy. Electrons are emitted with the different kinetic energy, and if collector is at lower potential, electron loses its kinetic energy in overcoming the retarding forces. If kinetic energy is not sufficient, emitted electrons may not reach the collector, and as they may not reach the collector, photoelectric current is 0. If maximum kinetic energy of the electron, if it is emitted with a maximum kinetic energy of, that is the energy of the most energetic electrons at the emitter. Ke max is the energy of the most energetic electrons at the emitter, and if V0 is the stopping potential, we know it is the retarding potential for which photoelectric current becomes 0. Ke max is the maximum kinetic energy of the electrons. V0 is the stopping potential, and if this Ke max, maximum kinetic energy, is less than E into V0. Try to understand what is this E into V0. It is the energy needed for free electrons to overcome the retarding potential V0. If kinetic energy maximum is less than this E0, this is also a energy. Which energy? It is energy needed for electron to overcome the retarding potential V0. And if this is less than this energy, electron does not reach the collector. If this Ke max is equal to E into V0, photoelectric current is 0 or photocurrent is 0, and as we know from Einstein's equation, Ke max is equal to h mu minus phi 0, but this is nothing but E into V0 h nu minus phi 0. E into V0 h nu minus phi 0. It means this stopping potential depends on this frequency and work function, as h is a Planck's constant. What it indicates? Stopping potential depends on incident frequency, and a work function. As the work function is a property of material, we say that stopping potential depends on material of the emitter, and it depends on the frequency, and it does not depend on the intensity. It does not depend on the intensity from this equation. It depends on frequency. It also depends on the work function. But the work function is the property of material. Hence we say that stopping potential depends on the material and nature of the material and frequency, and it does not depend on the intensity. Now from this equation we also explain the next characteristics or next observation, as this equation is E is equal to E into V0 is equal to h nu minus phi 0. Therefore this V0 is h into nu upon E, if we divide here E, minus phi 0 upon E. H upon E into nu. We write this also as h upon E into nu. We just rearrange h upon E into nu into minus phi 0 upon E. And as we know the graph, we know this graph. We already studied this graph. Stopping potential along this axis, there is frequency, stopping potential V0, frequency. These are the two different graphs, one for metal A and other for metal B. These are the two different graphs we have already studied. This is minus V01 stopping potential, minus V02. This is threshold frequency, suppose metal A. This is graph for the metal A, this is graph for the metal B. This is threshold frequency for metal A, and this is threshold frequency for metal B. See here, these graphs are parallel to each other, means their slopes are same, but these intercepts are different. It means from this equation it is clear that this stopping potential varies linearly with the frequency. Conclusion from the graph is stopping potential varies linearly with the frequency. The graph is straight line with frequency. Second is the slope of straight line. See, for metal A and metal B, slope of straight line of stopping potential and frequency graph depends on the constant H and E. Slope of these straight lines depends on the constant H and E. As H is Planck's constant, E is the magnitude of charge on the electron. As these two quantities are constant, the slope of the graph is same. As this slope depends on the H and E and quantities are constant, the slopes of this straight line depends on constant H and E, and these slopes is same as H and E are constant. But the intercepts of line depends on this phi 0. Intercepts of line depends on phi 0. That is the work function. And as work function is different for the different materials, it means the intercepts of line depends on the phi 0. In turn, it depends on the materials, and hence this intercept is different for the different materials. Intercept is different for different materials. See here, intercept is different for the different materials. And then next explanation is, main explanation from these experiments is, the photoelectric current, or we also called it as a photocurrent. Photocurrent in the experiment, that photoelectric experiment depends on intensity. It depends on intensity of the light. That is the number of photoelectrons. Number of photoelectrons. Photocurrent depends on the intensity, that is, it depends on the number of photoelectrons and the potential V. Potential V. But does not depend on the frequency, not on frequency, as long as the incident frequency is greater than the threshold frequency. The photocurrent depends on the intensity of light. It means it depends on the number of photoelectrons or number of photons, and it also depends on the potential V, but it does not depend on the frequency as long as the frequency of incident light is greater than the threshold frequency. So this is the explanation of observations of photoelectric effect experiment using Einstein's postulates of quantization of energy. And then we see one more article, that is wave particle duality of EM radiation. Wave particle duality. Of electromagnetic radiation. Light is an electromagnetic radiation. And we see this article. This article is also very simple. From experimental observations by the scientist, phenomenon of the light such as interference, diffraction, from the experimental observations by the different experiments performed by the scientist, The phenomenon such as interference, diffraction can be explained by considering electromagnetic radiation, EM radiation, that is light, we consider here light as a wave nature, light as wave. By the experimental observations, this phenomenon interference diffraction can be explained by considering the light or electromagnetic radiation as a wave. Some phenomenon like photoelectric effect or photoelectric emission, we know this effect or photoelectric emission, and black body radiation, of the light or electromagnetic radiation only can be explained by considering light as photons, and also light as a photons, and also it is with definite quantum of energy and momentum, we generally momentum consider with the particles having some mass. Momentum, we know it is the product of mass and velocity. Some phenomenon like interference diffraction can be explained by considering that light as a wave. But some phenomenon like photoelectric effect, black body radiation, here we consider light as a photon having definite quantum of energy and momentum. It means here we consider its particle nature. Also there are some phenomena which can be explained by both the theories. In some cases we use the both nature to explain some phenomenon related with electromagnetic radiation. We consider wave nature of the radiation as well as the particle nature. It means it is necessary to consider both nature of light. It is necessary to consider both nature of light. Both nature means wave nature as well as particle nature. To explain the physical observations, one dominates in some situation and other works in the rest situation. So we consider the both nature of light, wave nature as well as particle nature. Thus we consider dual characteristics of light, that is, it behaves as a wave in some situation and it behaves as a particle in some other situation, and it is called as wave particle duality. It is called as wave particle duality of electromagnetic radiation. It is a wave particle duality of electromagnetic radiation. It is applicable not only for the light but for whole electromagnetic spectrum. You know electromagnetic spectrum, the sequential arrangement of electromagnetic waves according to their different properties and characteristics in the form of distinct groups is the electromagnetic spectrum. And this wave particle duality of light, it is not only applicable to light but it is applicable to whole electromagnetic spectrum. So this is about the wave particle duality of electromagnetic radiation. Today we stop here. Thank you.